Bodies buried under a school. Wow, this is crazy. Archaeologists complete largest mass exhumation in Australian history from old cemetery under the Hutchins School. That is crazy. They basically found a cemetery under a school. How did they miss that one? How did they build a school on top of a cemetery? The discovery would kickstart 9 months of meticulous excavation and identification as archaeologists tried to piece together who lay beneath the surface. Wow, that's crazy. So that's it there. At final count, 1,973 people's remains have been exhumed from the Hutchins School's old hockey field in what is believed to be the largest single exhumation project in Australia. Wow, that's crazy. How could this possibly happen, and what do you do when you find hundreds of bodies without headstones? That's crazy. What do you do? So that's it there. So here's an overview of it. And that must be the hockey field. That's not just the hockey field. That's like the whole school. They must have found it at the hockey field and realized that it's in the whole school grounds. Wow. Location and extent of previous exhumations unclear. It's no secret that Hutchins, a prestige boys' school in Hobart, suburb of Sandy Bay, was built over an old cemetery site. And there they have the side-by-side view here. So that's what I'm assuming it used to look like. And this is what it looks like now. And that's it there. Crazy. They've pretty much just plonked a school on top of a cemetery. When did they do this? Queenborough Cemetery was operated by a private company from 1873 until 1917, when the Hobart City Council took over. The last burial was in 1934. So the council were running at the time the last person was buried. Over those 6 decades, it is believed between 9,000 and 13,000 people were buried there. In 1964, the old cemetery site was taken over by Hutchins School as part of a scale and land swap deal, which stipulated council would fund the exhumation of up to 1,900 human remains. That's where things get murky. Okay. So they were going to move the bodies, and I'm assuming put them somewhere else. I got no idea. That is odd. Members of the public have questioned how Hutchins could start digging without knowing there were bodies beneath the hockey and soccer field. That is nuts. Mr. McEwan said the current school board and administration believed, perhaps naively, that the area had already been exhumed. In hindsight, it seems strange to say we were caught by surprise or blindsided, but at the time, that's how it felt, he said. We just did not have the detailed understanding of where the exhumations had taken place or what lay beneath the surface. That's crazy. So basically, in the 1930s, this school owner, developer, whoever it was that owned the school or wanted to put a school on that site, was supposed to exhume those bodies as part of the deal of having that land. And that seemed to have never happened. They must have put that on the to-do later list, and it never got done. But this is just crazy that a school is just placed on top of an old cemetery. And in what world do you put a school on top of an old cemetery? That is nuts. Only in Hobart, I guess. Tasmania. Anyway, I'm not going to go through the whole story, but I thought it was pretty interesting. And I'm sure there's a lot more to it. That's what Google's for. See ya.